on this episode of Failing Upwards Again, we have this from Blex Media. Blitz Balawi is teaming back up with Warner Brothers' Black Samurai, a bold reimagining of legendary African warrior Yasuke. Am I going to make 1,000 videos on this guy? I've said this before, I'll say it again. I have no idea if Yasuke the Samurai was really a samurai. People are telling me 1,000 different things, that he was never a samurai, he just held the sword for Nobunaga. He was the first, essentially, DEI hire because Nobunaga, I don't know if that guy was real. I think he was from the Onimushu games, if I'm not mistaken. But he saw this dude, he's like, wow, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm just going to parade this guy around everywhere I go. So, like, hey, look what I got here. So, there is no confirmation if Yasuke was a real samurai or not, though. But they are going to hammer this point home until the end of time. It does not matter at all that that Japan itself has rejected this guy. Even Ubisoft blocked Japanese historians when they said who this dude really was. So, let's start. There's a lot to dissect here, okay? Starts off with, Warner Brothers has secured the rights to Black Samurai. Listen, why would you want to call something Black Samurai? Call me crazy. Is this something that you really want to have associated with your character, that he's not just his own thing, he is just a Black Samurai? He can't just be a samurai, just so happens to be black? No. We need him to be Black Samurai, because otherwise, it doesn't matter. It says the project marks a reunion for the studio and Blasqui, following his critically acclaimed work on the recent musical adaptation of The Color Purple. Let's talk about The Color Purple for a second. Here's an article from the New York Times. Warner Brothers Discovery stock plummets as movie flops The Color Purple, Aquaman sinks earnings. The movie was a flop. The movie was a hysterical flop. So, as usual, Failing Upwards is the game today in Hollywood. This dude made a movie, The Color Purple. So this dude made a remake of The Color Purple, which was a pretty popular movie back then. And it flopped now. So let's just give him another opportunity and more money to keep doing things. So, when this project flops, it's gonna flop. You cannot tell me that you did The Color Purple, a very, very, very famous movie back then, and it flopped in the box office. What did you do wrong? You just didn't go shot for shot? How is that possible? Look what happened with The Lion King. The Lion King was a shot-for-shot remake by Jon Favreau. $1 billion. Did very little things different from the original. In fact, I would say that the original still looks better because the new one, there's no facial expressions. $1 billion. Shot for shot. You're telling me that you couldn't do The Color Purple shot for shot and make a profit? And now you are given an opportunity to take on Black Samurai. Something right now that is going to haunt Ubisoft for a while. I don't think that game's going to be very well at all. I don't think Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to do remotely well. I don't think it's going to be at the level of the Suicide Squad game, but I would not be shocked if it comes out and it's one of the biggest flops in gaming history and it sets Ubisoft back and people get fired because of this. Would not be shocked at all. So now you want to take on the idea of, again, Black Samurai. Why don't you just call him Yasuke? How? This just sounds stupid. You're already starting this off on the wrong foot. And of course, this article is just deep-throating this guy the entire time. It says, while past portrayals of Yasuke have existed, sources say Bazwali version is unlike anything seen before. Insiders compare the film style to groundbreaking action epics like 300 and Mad Max. Really? This dude that couldn't make The Color Purple work, now all of a sudden He's an action star visionary. How do you... Those two movies do not make any sense to me. If you were to tell me tomorrow Christopher Nolan is going to direct a musical, would that make any sense to you at all? This dude did a musical, and the next thing he's doing is a freaking samurai action movie compared to 300 and Mad Max? Get the hell out of here. And it says this win comes after a competitive bidding process with Warner Brothers. Who was bidding on the rights to this? Is this thing going to come in theaters? Or is this going to be a straight to HBO Max thing where you can watch it at your house on your couch for the included price, so you don't have to go out there and spend $24 plus popcorn for 2 tickets and go to the theaters? You can just watch it at home, and they could inflate the numbers to hell and be like, hey, look how great our movie is. Everyone loves it. Nah, man. Straight to streaming and box office are 2 totally different animals. So this thing should come straight to HBO Max. Not even close to put it in theaters. It says Warner Brothers emerged victorious over 3 other studios and streaming services. Who the hell else was bidding on this? You're telling... I'm really curious, okay? Because this article came out April 10th, it says. Did they not know what was going on with Ubisoft? They're looking at that right there and said, you know what? Let's do this too. It's failing for them, but you know what? Let's go with it. You know what? Wasn't Afro Samurai, if I'm not mistaken, Afro Samurai was a thing. It was pretty well received. Was that Yasuke? I don't know. I saw it a 1,000 years ago. I have no idea. But it could work. I just don't believe that now it could work. I don't believe this dude could make it work. Again, you couldn't make The Color Purple work. A remake? Seriously, man? Moving on from that. Again, this thing's gonna fail. Calling it right now. News of Black Samurai comes on the heels of Balava successful transition to major studio filmmaking with The Color Purple. Christ, who wrote this article? It doesn't even have a name on it. It just says Blex Media. The film garnered critical acclaim and award recognition. Certainly didn't make money. So, did it get a ton of awards? I have no idea. Who watches the Oscars anymore? No one takes that crap seriously anyway. In addition to Black Samurai, I'm not even going to bother trying to say this dude's name anymore, is also developing a limited series on FX based on his debut novel, The Scent of Burnt Flowers. I'm assuming this is going to be a black-led thing. Let me take a look at what this is. Total black thing. Okay. Here's the guy's book, The Scent of Burned Flowers. Fleeing persecution in the 1960s America, a black couple seeks asylum in Ghana. Who the hell is going to Ghana? What is happening? Ghana is much better than America in the 1960s, but fresh dangers and old secrets threaten their newfound freedom in this hypnotic debut novel. It sounds like crap, man. That's the problem. I despise people like this in Hollywood, man. I despise people like this that their entire existence is their race. Just takes all creativity out of it. This dude, his directorial things though, everything's just black this, black that, man. You're not an artist, you're not creative at all. You don't even have IMDb great ratings for any of these things. Obviously, you produce everything. Yeah, you wrote and produced everything that you've done. That makes sense. Okay. What a garbage product this guy's gonna produce. We all know it. A historical figure right for reimagining. You mean creating? Here's the problem, okay? Here's me throwing out my sad violin. I made a parody song. I'm gonna put it at the end of this video. It was a parody song about Yasuke. I even put on Facebook on the second line of it. It was a funny joke in the beginning. I said, a song to honor the greatest samurai of all time. And the next line was saying that it's a joke. It's a parody, guys. I was flooded. Paragraph long responses telling me the history of the samurai warrior, telling me to educate myself, calling me ignorant for making this a parody. And even if you didn't read the script, you listen to that song, you can tell it's a joke. It's a banger. Oh, don't get me wrong. It's a banger of a song. And I might email this dude and say, hey, I'll give you the rights to my song for it. But Clearly, people are that upset about me making a song about this that I have to still get messages about it. So, no, there is no way this product is gonna work. It even talks about his eventually caught the eye of the powerful Obunaga. I'm sorry, I butchered the hell out of that one. I'm not even gonna bother with this one, guys. I'm moving to hell. I can't even say Denis Villeneuve, the dude that did Dune, director. I'm not even gonna bother with this one, okay? I'm sorry, really unprofessional of me. This is hysterical to read. Nobunaga, known for his progressive views. The guy was a Japanese warlord. Recognized Yasuke's skills and took him into service. I heard he just held this dude's swords and just danced for him, and that's it. He said Yasuke rose through the ranks, becoming a valued samurai retainer. I don't believe that he was real in the sense where he was a great samurai. I believe he existed, and that was it. Because if this guy was a well-known samurai, I'm gonna be honest, I think we would have heard about him by now. I think his story would have been plastered out there decades ago. You're telling me now the world is hearing about a black samurai handpicked by this guy that rose up the ranks? You're telling me that this happened 1,000 years ago and we're hearing about it now, and we have a video game and a movie coming out about this dude at the same time? Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. This is, oh man, what is Warner Bros? Warner Bros, you guys do so many good things. Dune 3 is gonna absolutely destroy the Rey Skywalker trilogy when it comes out. I think 2026. That's gonna be very exciting December for movies, because we're gonna laugh the hell out of Rey Skywalker in the box office. So you guys are capable of doing good things. But now all of a sudden it's, you know what? Screw it. Let's hitch our wagon to this guy that can only write black things and black things only. It's just an embarrassment to the, again, I have zero respect for anyone in the industry that does this crap though. If you cannot write a character outside of your own race and base your career around the color of your skin, man, you're a hack. You're a hack, and that's it. And that is probably the only reason why you're getting any work at all. Because if they don't hire your ass, you could just claim racism. In the end, what do you guys think about this?
From a distant land across the sea so wide came a man of strength with honor and pride. In the land of the rising sun, his story would unfold. Yasuke, the warrior, with a heart so bold. Yasuke, the samurai, under the Japanese sky. From Africa he came, with a spirit that won't die. In the service of Nobunaga, he stood tall and brave. Yasuke, the samurai, a legacy engraved. In the court of the daimyo, he stood by his side, a giant among men with no place to hide. Nobunaga saw his strength, his loyalty, his might, and granted him the honor to fight the noble fight. Yasuke, the samurai, under the Japanese sky. The Japanese sky. From Africa he came, with a spirit that won't die. That won't die. In the service of Nobunaga, he stood tall and brave. Yasuke, the samurai, a legacy engraved. In the heat of battle, with sword in hand, he fought with courage for his newfound land. Through betrayal and sorrow, he remained strong, a warrior's heart where he truly belonged. Yasuke, the samurai, under the Japanese sky. The Japanese sky. From Africa he came, with a spirit that won't die. That won't die. In the service of Nobunaga, he stood tall and brave. Tall and brave. Yasuke, the samurai, a legacy engraved. His story lives on in legends and lore, the African samurai forevermore. From the dawn of history to the end of time, Yasuke, the warrior, in our hearts and minds. Yasuke, the warrior, in our hearts and minds.